Welcome to VTFC Shorts. These quick concept lessons act as companion pieces to our full Von Tolstat Fight Club series. Here we cover techniques in just a few minutes that you can use to improve your fencing right now. If you've done any amount of rapier fencing, most of the people you fight will probably hang out in some variation of a terza guard. And this is a good solid guard, as it's easy on the arm, makes for good disengages, and can gain the inside and outside lines with just little adjustment. If you've ever spent any time fighting me, then you probably noticed I'm a little different, and that I do not use a pure terza very often at all. Most of the time, I fight in an extended quarta, but have you ever wondered why I do this? Remember that the extended quarta is not the classic elbow across the body, hand withdrawn style of quarta that you see from most fighters in schools. The extended quarta is exactly what it sounds like. The arm is more extended out front, though the elbow is still a little bent and not fully locked out. It is almost like my arm is in terza, but my hand is in quarta. For my grip, my thumb is rested on top of the quillin block and my pointer finger is just under the quillin, almost like the quillin is a trigger and my finger is just resting there. The handle rests somewhat under the pad of my thumb and my other fingers wrap around for support. I'm holding the sword with my pointer finger and thumb almost in a pinch, but I'm not gripping overly tight. My pommel is more or less against my wrist. Fabris and the Vienna Anonymous state that this version of quarta is the most secure guard, and I tend to agree with them for a few key reasons. For one, I always have an edge against my opponent's weapon and I'm ready to resist lines of attack with this guard, whether my opponent is on the inside or outside. This puts me at an advantage, especially if they are fighting in terza, as my edge is stronger than their flat. Extended quarta also closes lines very easily. I can close the inside or outside line with just a little adjustment of my arm and hand. If my opponent disengages, instead of rolling my hand or arm to change guards, I just make a small adjustment and the line is closed as they come up on the other side. Similarly, I can disengage and have my edge on with my point closing the line very quickly. Compare this to fully changing guards and you see how much time extended quarta saves me. As you probably know, a split second in fencing can be the difference between defeat or victory. Being an extended quarta makes me faster because I'm using smaller movements to achieve the same results as a bigger movement. I can also easily gain my opponent's weapon and thrust in opposition with the extended quarta on the inside and outside lines, again with very little adjustment of my hand and arm. But Ulrich, isn't the false edge weak? Shouldn't I always roll to my true edge, you might say, if you haven't been keeping up with all of our videos? To you I say, go and watch episode 5, because that is a huge misconception, and it's actually counter to the structure of the body and leverage mechanics. But the short answer is no, you should not always be doing that. Watch here as my opponent presses against my false edge with his true edge, and he still loses. As you can see, the false edge is just fine in extended quarta on the outside line. There's no necessity to roll to your true edge with terza or seconda. In fact, doing so could actually be much weaker than just using your false edge in the extended quarta. This is because of body mechanics, skeletal structure, point orientation, and blade leverage. Finally, the extended Quarta is excellent for parrying on both sides. And in counter-thrusting your opponent's attacks. While extended Quarta is an incredibly effective guard, be sure you follow all the basic foundations of effective fencing that we have put forth so far on our channel. If you experiment with the extended Quarta, be sure that you have your arm in the proper position and that you are not crossing your arm and elbow across your body. You're probably going to have to build up some muscle strength if you aren't used to fighting this way, even if you have been fighting for a while. Once you get the hang of it, you can save yourself time and end up in stronger positions much easier when fencing. Just remember, this is not the only way to fight. This is just something I find very effective in my own fencing, and you may find effective as well. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time on Von Tolstat Fight Club.